Hello everyone and welcome back to my journey. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Samantha. I am 26 years old, I live in Ontario, Canada, and I used to be over 400 pounds. Just over 9 months ago now, I had gastric bypass surgery. The last video that I posted on my channel was going over things that you can do pre-op to help yourself post-op weight loss surgery. And if you haven't already seen that video, you can go ahead and watch it now. Before I get into today's video, I just wanted to take the usual quick second to say thank you and welcome back to my returning subscribers, and welcome if you are new. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, you can go ahead and do that now and click the notification bell to be notified when I post new videos. So for today's video, I wanted to do something that was a little more out of my comfort zone, and I wanted to share some really personal details about what my life was like before weight loss surgery. I decided that the best way to do that would be to take you through what a day in my life looked like when I was over 400 pounds. Spoiler alert, this video is not going to be very pretty. It's not for the faint of heart. So I want to take you guys right from the start of the day until the end, and also shed some light on things that others might not realize obese people struggle with. It came to my attention a few months ago when I was explaining what my life used to be like to one of my best friends who is not obese, that some of the things that would happen in my day-to-day life, which over time just seemed like normal things to me, were definitely not things that other people did just to get through their days. So I will take you from the very moment that I would wake up on a typical morning as a 400-pound person. First, I'd just like to say that my highest documented weight was 408 pounds, but I do believe that at one point or another I was definitely higher than that, and it was just never recorded. I would also just like to say that these are my personal experiences. Not everybody who's 400 pounds will experience these things, and of course these experiences are not limited to people who are 400 pounds, but these are just the things that I experienced in my day-to-day life, and I just wanted to talk about it. So I would wake up every morning absolutely exhausted. Typically, I'd wake up every hour throughout the night to change sleeping positions, as staying in one position for too long of a period of time would cause just general pain or muscle cramping. I had very severe sleep apnea, so most mornings I would wake up with a headache and my blood pressure would be super high, and I had no clue why that was, of course, because I hadn't done all the tests at that point. Wake up, shower, get dressed, and get ready to go. On my way to work or at work, I would eat breakfast, which was usually something like a protein shake, a Slim Fast, carnation breakfast, or even a Boost high protein. These were things that I thought were helping me. Every morning I would feel extremely nauseous and I wouldn't want to eat anything, had no idea why. Now I know that I had pretty severe acid reflux because of the foods that I was eating right before bed and all throughout the day. I also struggled to breathe a lot in the morning and wasn't sure why, but I now know it was because of my sleep apnea and because my asthma had gotten so bad. And for those of you that do not know me in real life, I am a pharmacy assistant, and that job requires you to be on your feet all day. That was something that I absolutely could not do. I sat in a stool every chance that I got because my legs, my feet, my hips, my back, my shoulders, everything hurt all day long. I was constantly taking Advil and Tylenol, using A535. When I would get home, I would have to take a bath or do a foot bath, something like that, because I was in such severe pain. Throughout the day at work, I had 3 breaks. So my first break would be when I would go to get my snack, which was usually a king-size chocolate bar, some kind of bag of chips, and a pop or an energy drink. For lunch, I would usually get something that was frozen to be reheated, or I would bring like a massive Tupperware container with leftovers in it, and I would end up feeling sick pretty much the whole day. If I was feeling very sick on a certain day, I would take Pepto-Bismol or Tums, something to soothe my stomach. I would come home from work absolutely destroyed by the amount of pain that I was in, and I would cook a huge dinner. Dinner was always accompanied by some kind of pop and usually a dessert afterwards. I would eat way too much food, feel sick for the rest of the night, and go to bed with a stomach ache pretty much every day. I had no energy or willpower or care really to do any chores once I got home, so I always told people, oh yeah, I do all the cooking and Craig does all the cleaning, and that was true. Craig did pick up a lot of the slack for me at that point in my life, and I am forever amazed by his patience in those times. One of the most amazing things about him is that he never made me feel like I was letting him down by not doing any of the chores, or that I was letting him down by being the weight that I was or eating the way that I was. Craig just went with it, and he let me come to my own conclusions, and he has loved me through every chapter in this journey. So that was pretty much a day in my life, and I would pretty much repeat that scenario every single day. It was horrible, it was not fun. I didn't want to come to terms with the fact that it was all self-inflicted. The only thing I really knew was that I literally did not care if I lived or died. I just didn't want to be hungry. If I was sad or stressed or angry, I wanted to eat. I knew it made me happy, and that was pretty much one of the only things that I cared about. I never wanted to go out in public, especially not by myself. I flat out refused to see any of the people that I used to be close with because I didn't want them to see how bad things had gotten. I would never take pictures, so I would never post pictures. I had multiple sprained ankles and broken bones due to the fact that I was overweight. 2 of those injuries were simply me just walking. I wasn't able to go to fun places, so doing things like zip lining, roller coasters, tubing, putting a life jacket on in a boat, going on an airplane, helicopter, things like that were not things that I was able to do, so I just never did them, and I still haven't, and I really want to experience those things now, and I definitely need to start checking those things off my list. I had to use a seatbelt extender in my car every single day, and I had to take one with me if I was going in anyone else's car. Some of you may have already seen from one of my previous videos that I used to have to Google pictures of restaurants to see what the chairs looked like and how big the booths were. I never ever felt clean, like ever. I would shower 2 to 3 times a day, every single day. There were times when I had to do urine samples for things like pregnancy tests, and that was not something that I was physically able to do. I'm talking dropping cups into toilets and then having to explain that to the people who were trying to collect your sample. Like I said, not a pretty video. I never felt full. I never had that feeling of being satisfied. It was always, okay, I'm done eating for now, but what can I eat later? I was constantly hot, constantly out of breath, constantly having to take my inhalers. I couldn't bend over to pick things up. I had a really hard time getting out of bed, getting into bed. There was also the really fun time when I went to go and get my IUD in, had the appointment all scheduled, got onto the table, and the gynecologist actually had to refer me to a specialist because I was too big to do it at a regular clinic. So recap, that was a day in my life when I was at my highest weight, as well as some daily struggles that I would go through as a person who was over 400 pounds. I just want to say that I do obviously take full responsibility for the weight that I got to. I knew what I was doing, but as I said earlier in this video, I do struggle with mental health, and I really did not care if I lived or died. My addiction to food was really the most important thing in my life for a long time, and it is something that I still struggle with to this day. As of right now in my journey, I have lost over 150 pounds, but the point that I really want to make is that I feel so much better. All of these things that I used to struggle with on a daily basis, all of these things that were completely out of the normal and little workarounds that I had to do just to get through the day, those are non-existent. They are not things that I have to do anymore. They're not things that I have to worry about anymore, and that's so amazing. Like, I don't have to crawl through the trunk of my car if somebody parks too closely in the grocery store parking lot. I don't have to use a seatbelt extender anymore. I've slept for 8 hours like every single night, and I don't think that I could make anyone understand how huge those things are for someone unless you've been in that position. My life has gotten infinitely better since I had gastric bypass surgery, and if you're struggling to make that decision and you have any questions and you need support from somebody, I am always here. You can contact me anytime through comments on YouTube, or you can follow me on Instagram at Samantha_RNY13. My direct messages are always open and you can send me a message anytime you want. As I said before, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love you for doing that. I'm over the moon excited about the growth on this channel, and I just really want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed so far. I can't explain how much I appreciate it. As always, if you have any questions, suggestions, or requests for future videos, please leave them in the comments down below. I am always willing to take suggestions. Also, I really wanted to do a Q&A video soon, so if I could get some more questions, maybe I can compile them all together and put them in a video for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all next week. Bye guys.